What is up, YouTube? It is Doc here, Docky Style Gaming, and I am back at it again with another GodFall video for you all today. Now, this video is pretty interesting because it looks like Xbox players might honestly have a chance to play GodFall. So in this video, I'm going to be going over that and touching on the last bit of lore information that we just got yesterday as well. This video was going to drop a little earlier today, but I wanted to give my other videos some time to breathe. So be sure to check out my last video if you haven't already, and then I'll still have another one dropping later today. So without wasting any more of y'all's time, let's hop straight into this new info. So yesterday we got a GodFall live stream. It was a pre-recorded stream for the most part, but at the very beginning of the stream we got the launch trailer for GodFall. Now when watching that live stream, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but when PlayStation uploaded the launch trailer, we did see at the very end of that trailer that it said that GodFall is a PlayStation 5 console exclusive, but at the very bottom with an asterisk, it did say that it is not available on any console until 5/12/2021. This means GodFall is a 6-month PlayStation 5 console exclusive ending on May 12th, 2021, exactly 6 months from the launch of GodFall on PS5. Now, Gearbox has done something similar like this with Borderlands in the Epic Store. It was a 6-month exclusive as well, so this isn't something out of the ordinary to happen, but considering how heavily and how strong GodFall's been being pushed as a PlayStation exclusive, the use of the DualSense controller and everything like that, it is kind of surprising to see that not only is it potentially going to be coming to other consoles, but the fact that it's only 6 months. And now I know people are going to be like, only 6 months, that's half a year. For an exclusive like this that's been being promoted since the very first trailer as the first next-gen title, it's kind of crazy to see that potentially it might not just be on PlayStation 5. Now, of course, it is going to be on PC as well, but with this exclusivity ending in 6 months, this means that it can be put on other platforms as well: Stadia, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't believe Nintendo Switch can run it, and in 6 months time, Stadia might be dead. So the best bet is that potentially it'll be coming to Xbox in about 6 months time. Now, I know some PS5 players might be upset, but it is really not that big a deal. Plus, 6 months is a pretty decent amount of time for them to be missing out on a lot of content, potential in-game events, and things like that. And it'll give some of the Xbox players time to see how good the game is, or watch some reviews and make their own decision. And though again, some people might be salty and might be upset, keep in mind this could potentially open the way for crossplay in the future. If all three of the major platforms have it, this would be a pretty interesting way for them to be able to bridge PC, Xbox, and PS5 players all together. So I know some people might see it as a fail, but I actually see it ultimately as a win. PlayStation still gets it 6 months early. We get to experience all the content beforehand. Xbox players will have to do a pretty decent grind to catch up within that 6 months time, and who knows what all is going to come out within that time. But what also is interesting is that within the 6 months, potentially that could be the release date for expansion number 2. It would be the perfect time to release a new DLC while also making it available for other platforms as well. It would give Xbox players a reason to pick up the game because now they'll have all the base game content along with a new DLC. So definitely keep that date locked, Xbox players. May 12th, 2021, exactly 6 months after the launch of GodFall on the PS5. Now, this isn't any confirmation that y'all are officially going to get it. This just means that their exclusivity will end on PlayStation in 6 months. But I do have some high hopes that it might spread to other platforms in the future. So I think this is pretty awesome news. Again, even though I am a hardcore PlayStation fan, and definitely the salty side of me would want this to be only on PS5, but I think it is a good thing if it's potentially on all of the major platforms. So let me know what y'all all personally think about this in the comment section. Are y'all happy about this? Are you an Xbox fan and you're happy about this? Are you a PlayStation fan and was like, this is the whole reason why I bought a PS5? Let me know, I'm kind of curious. But now let's move over to the last bit of lore information that we got for the game, pretty much leading us to the start of the game. Now again, like always, most of these lore details and tidbits I've covered in multiple videos way before. We just got a bit more in depth of a backstory, but I have made 5, 6, 7, 8. I've made a bunch of lore videos. So just go check my playlist if you haven't already. But for the sake of the video, we'll get into the more in-depth aspects of what happened leading up to the very start of the game. So in the last lore video that we did, it ended with Macros ultimately coming up with his plan to become a god. But this video is essentially going to pick up where we left off. So starting off, after the war with the Ladderborn in the last video, the world was essentially brought to peace through two different sets of wars, the one with the gods and the one with the Ladderborn. And with this, Macros ultimately wanted to cleanse the world, in which to reshape it, dominate it, and subjugate it, and using the Skybreaker's monolith, he could do such a thing. Now with Auron and Macros being so close, he had hoped that he'd get some support for Auron. He even tried to make Auron seal away the Seventh Sanctum. Now before he sealed the Seventh Sanctum away, the Seventh Sanctum did predict that the Valorians would destroy themselves. After the Seventh Sanctum was sealed, Macros essentially told Auron of his plan, to use Ethereum for a ritual to ascend to godhood. Auron ultimately saw what Macros was becoming, and Auron saw Macros becoming and thinking like he was that of the Archons that they had once defeated. Now surprisingly, the council actually agreed with Macros' plan, but for Auron, he wasn't going to take this, and if diplomacy wouldn't work, Auron would go to war with his former brother. So Auron and his forces consistently tried to destroy the Skybreaker's monolith to stop Macros from ultimately using it. This conflict apparently lasted at least 1,000 years, and yes, that is a very convenient number to stop at. Every time Auron's forces attacked and destroyed the Skybreaker's monolith, Macros and his forces would build it back up even stronger. Now ultimately towards the end of this huge war, using a distraction, Auron and his forces stormed the Skybreaker's monolith one last time. There both Auron and Macros' armies faced off against each other, and Macros ultimately killed and cleared out most of Auron's forces. And now what follows is pretty much what we saw in the cinematic trailer. Macros makes his way up to the Skybreaker's monolith to pursue Auron, and as the trailer shows, a fight ensues and Macros wins. Knocks Auron off the Skybreaker's monolith, falls into the sea thinking he was dead. But of course, he wasn't, and ultimately, that's where we'll be picking up in the game. So that's the brief bit of additional lore detail that we got, and wrapping up where the game will officially start off, and where we as a player kind of stands when it comes to Macros. So with GodFall less than a week away, are you guys ready to finally get your hands on this game and get into some of this action? I'm super curious to see how this story is going to play out, if they're going to do a full-on cliffhanger ending to try and lead up and tease some eventual expansions, or if we're going to have a satisfying conclusion ending, but with some world-building elements to expand upon later on. Let me know how you think this game will ultimately play out in the end. Still super hyped for the game and cannot wait to play with most of y'all on this channel. Like I said, I'll be streaming it for sure when it drops, and my parties will always be open like they always are on stream. Subscribers, viewers, anybody can feel free to join up, so I definitely cannot wait. But I'm going to end the video right there. So again, let me know what you personally think about Xbox potentially getting GodFall in 6 months, and what you think about the final lore aspects of the game, and how you think the game will ultimately wrap up in the end. So that's all I got for this video. Thank you all for watching. Like always, links to my social media accounts are in the video description, along with a link to the Discord as well. Be sure to leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you didn't. I am out of here, guys. Thanks for the love, thanks for the subs, peace.